He's fine. How are you doing?
Up and down.
Down mostly?
Mostly.
You know, I find that there's a lot of things that I can't really talk to Mother and Daddy about, or even Joe.
Your talk doesn't do me much good either. I figure it's just going to take time. Very long time.
I think I'll always feel guilty. 50 years from now, I could
Feel
wake...
what?
Guilty? Responsible?
For Mary?
Yeah. Because I told her how I felt or I used to feel about you. Hit her so hard that the next day... She wouldn't have had that accident otherwise. I mean, she was too good a driver. I can just see her sitting behind the wheel, thinking back over everything that I had said and taking a wrong turn and driving...
Stop it. Don't do that. It's pointless and it's wrong.
No.
Yeah, you didn't kill Mary. You had nothing to do with it.
If I had kept my mouth shut, she would not have gotten angry. She would have come to the wedding with you and Ryan, and she'd probably be alive right now.
You know what Mary say to that? Say, where the hell do you get off? And that's what I say, too. As if that you're the center of the tragedy, as if she lived and died as a reaction to you.
I didn't mean it like that.
That's what I'm hearing.
Well, you're crazy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that either.
Okay. Never mind. Let's drop it.
Okay. How?
Siobhan, just grow up. Mary's dead and gone. You want to make sense out of it? Well, it doesn't. There's no cause and effect. You said this, you said that, so she died. Well, that's the way a kid thinks. Kid has to make up reasons so that the world makes sense to him. Pretty soon Ryan will tell me that her mom is not here because she went to live in heaven. Well, okay. But you're not 2 years old. You can't play those games. There's no way to understand what happened, okay? Nobody's at fault. Nobody's to blame. There's no order, no sense.
This is not a game. I remember Mary's face that day sitting right here in this room. I remember the way she looked at me. And I knew for once that I had been wrong to tell the truth.
Wrong. So Mary went to heaven. You have to pay for it the rest of your life, right? Fine, wonderful. You solved all your problems. You didn't do anything for mine. Didn't bring Mary back.
Don't you think that I want her back? Don't you think I wake up every morning with these...
Well, try waking up and noticing you have a husband and a future instead of wallowing in your guilt. Try that, huh?
Out of the oven and cooling. That's Ryan's favorite. Maybe she'll have a little bit of it later. Darling, I still didn't see Joe.
Oh, no, Joe's not here. He's at home. Look, I've got to run, so, I'm going to pick up some things that I forgot, you know, that I left at the office. Have a good day.
Yeah.
And please, don't spend it with the curtains. I'll see you later. My love to Ryan.
You sure you don't want to stay for lunch?
No, the next time.
Jack, did the two of you have words?
We talked about Mary.
Oh, well, that explains that.
Oh, Joe, good. I was afraid you were out on one of your boats. Freezing to death.
Just loafing today. So, how was the old neighborhood?
Freezing, but wonderful.
You made some progress with Roger?
No, actually, I didn't find him. But little John was home, and we went to the zoo, and we had a terrific time. He made my day.
Great. You ought to take him out to the aquarium. We're just minutes away.
That's a great idea. I have to write that down. I started a list on the way home on the subway, things to do with John-O. That's my New Year's resolution. To spend at least a few hours a week with my son. He's such a comfort.
Yeah. I can see you're feeling better.
That's because of little John. He's so excited about the whole world, and that's catchy. I hope you want to have kids. You know, I think that'd be good for Siobhan. With Mary and all.
Well, we'd like to start a family as soon as possible.
No kidding. I can't get over how you've changed her.
Coming. Year! Uncle! I've got that book for you.
Oh, great.
Be right back.
Happy New Year.
Same to you, my dear. I've got something for you.
You do? What?
A restaurant.
You found one? Mine? I mean, for me to run like you said? Tell me about it. Where is it?
On Manhattan, in the park. It's big. Lots of big chandeliers and windows. Several big dining rooms. A bar. Excellent kitchen. Fully equipped. It's a good operation now, but it'll be wonderful when you take it over. According to these papers, you're the sole owner. But there are other papers giving me the title. It's our secret.
Oh, I promise. I haven't said a word about that to anybody. You really bought it? Geez, oh, I can't stand it. I feel rich and famous already.
Could happen. You're getting 25% of the profits.
I want to look at these. I gotta see my name.
Yes, you look them over, and then we'll talk about it later.
Nice visiting with you again. Joe, I'm gonna just go upstairs and change, okay?
Take your time. So what's the word?
The word is that we're in business, and she thinks it's our little secret. This is going to be a successful operation, Joey. I can feel it.
About Pastina, but she wouldn't touch it. Not a bite.
Jack, have you ever had a high fever?
Yeah, but her temperature's gone down since this morning. She keeps asking for something to eat. So she has an appetite.
Next time, ask for ginger ale, okay?
Yes, but she only wants it until she sees it. And
Try ginger ale. And try not to worry. I guarantee you she will not starve. Look.
you guarantee that she's going to get over this fast.
I'll go out on a limb for you. She's already feeling much better.
If you were concerned. You examined her this morning, Faith, and here you are, after dark, making a house call. Now, that's got to say that you were concerned.
Poor Ryan. I guess everybody feels that they need to protect her right now, including me. Or maybe I just wanted to visit. In any event, I give you permission to skip the middle of the night medicine. Just give her a spoonful before she goes to bed, and then give her one when she wakes up on her own.
Well, I was planning to sleep in a room.
Jack, don't. You've nursed her all day. You need a rest. If you have any questions, big or small, call me.
Well, I don't think so. Thanks very much. It's a relief to know. Oh, there is one thing.
What?
Now, how do I keep her in bed? I mean, she's fine if she's asleep, but if not, she wants to move around. If I say no, well, then she...
Well, so don't keep her in bed. Jack, she'll be fine as long as you keep her warm. Listen, she's going to feel much better happy than she is unhappy.
Where'd you get all that common sense? They teach you that in medical school?
Yeah. Call me when you take a temperature in the morning.
Okay.
Bye, Ryan.
Thank you.
Oh, my bag. You're welcome. Good night.
Good night. Well. Now, wasn't that good news, huh? Well, we'll do the Christmas tree in a minute. You got the run of the place. Did you hear that? She says you go wherever you want. Let's see if we can finish this game here. Yeah. Oh, boy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are you trying to do, Jack? Make her worse? The child belongs in bed.
I'll come to you.
Where's Maeve, anyway?
Okay, can we just keep it quiet, huh? Now, do I want to make her worse? No. Where's Maeve? Don't ask me. Now, this is for you. I'm, taking care of my kid, and I know what I'm doing. So, she's happier out of bed. And as long as she's warm, she can stay here all night.
Sure. And end up in the hospital with pneumonia.
Call her Dr. Colfaith right now.
I don't have to call a doctor. Jack, I've had 5 kids of my own. I know
Johnny,
that when a child is sick...
Johnny, I'm telling you, but I've had my instructions from Faith. Your advice is not required.
Oh, sure. And what did she tell you? Let her play on the floor, in a draft with 104 fever. Did she say that Ryan doesn't like to go to bed? Have you been drinking or what?
And I haven't even been here 24 hours yet.
Ah, fine. And you go running off to Maeve right this minute and tell her I'm picking a fight with you. So you can go crawling back downtown.
No. No, I don't think I'll pick up the bait this time.
I'm not baiting you, Jack. I'm just trying to see that my grandchild is properly taken care of.
Then see. Why don't you turn around and look? You haven't even bothered to notice that she's better, have you? Her temperature has dropped 2 degrees. Faith has checked her over again. I don't even have to get up at 2 in the morning to give her a medicine.
You mean Faith was here?
I told you. I got my instructions from Faith.
Well, I thought you met on the telephone.
Yeah. Well, I guess you thought wrong. You, keep an eye on her for a couple of seconds, huh?
How's my little sweetheart doing, huh? How you doing? Let me feel your head. Oh, sweetheart, you're burning up. It's like you're in a steam bath. You don't need this on. Yeah, let me take this off. We don't need sweaters on. We don't need sweaters on at all. Here we go. One arm's out. And the other arm is out. Here's that. How is that? Is that better, huh? Yeah. I know that, sweetheart. I know, sweet. You know, Jack, there's a big difference between warm and overheated.
I just talked to your bear in your room, and he would like to see you. Hmm?
You weren't planning to put those slippers on her, too, were you?
Don't go away, Grandpa. I'll be right back to, settle a few things. Just, give me a couple of minutes. I don't want to be here. Now, you know that.
Well, Jack, you could have gone back downtown.
Ryan is sick and sad, and I want her near Maeve.
Well,
and she needs me, and it's only because I know how much I understand that I agreed to stay in your house for a while.
Oh, now you understand everything. Not a word to Ryan for days. And all of a sudden, you know everything.
Look, there's really only one thing we have to agree on. She's my kid. If I put a sweater on her, you don't yank it off. As long as I'm in this house, I'm in charge of Ryan. Now, you got that clear? Then we can just relax and ignore each other.
You're really spoiling for a fight, aren't you?
Me?
I don't know how much... I don't know how anyone could live with you, Jack. See, it's perfectly all right for me to pinch hit with your kid while you're holed up licking your wounds, right? And treating us as though we don't matter a damn. But when you decide to crawl out of your cave, or when my wife finally drags you out of it, then you're in charge, huh?
That's right. You got it.
Boy, oh boy. I wish Mary were here to see you now. You know what she'd tell you. You know what
Yeah,
she'd
I
say.
know what she'd say. She'd say you're full of it. You're begging for trouble, but I shouldn't hit you, so I won't.
No. Now, she would tell you to apologize to me. For what? For everything. For always taking and never giving anything back. For ingratitude. For blaming me. Right, Jack? You remember that day when Mary called? The day of the wedding? You laid me out. In front of everybody. For not finding out where she was. Well, why didn't you know where she was? Why didn't she come to the wedding with her husband, Jack? Maybe it was because you were treating her like she didn't matter a damn, huh? Maybe you picked a rib-snorting fight with her and then walked out and left her there, huh? My God, that's it, isn't it? That's what happened.
I don't discuss Mary with you. And don't you get in my way with Ryan.
I hate to barge in, but they sent me over from the harbor side. And
Hello, Johnny. You looking for me?
yeah. Is Siobhan around?
She's upstairs. I'll get her.
No. I had a piece of news today. I've been thinking of how I can handle it. Now, I'm going to be direct with you. That's my way.
Yeah.
Delia told me you settled all her problems with Dan Fox.
I had a talk with him, that's right.
And he suddenly left the country. I just wonder what kind of shape he's in.
Too many movies. Too many paperback adventures.
Look, don't do this to me. Just listen. Now, I wouldn't dream of interfering with your side of the family, so don't you interfere with mine. I mean, if Delia needs help, she has the Ryans.
I'm sorry, but that's not my impression.
I beg pardon?
My impression is that right now, at least, Delia is being helped by the Novaks. Joey took her in. You didn't. Correct me if I'm wrong.
She turned to my daughter.
Who is also my nephew's wife. Friends of hers are friends of mine. I know it's difficult to separate certain people from one side of the family. But I guess Delia is sort of a crossover.
Look, I don't know whether you're hearing me or not. Are you going to give me a straight answer?
I hear, and I will take your preference under consent.
Well, fine. I'd appreciate that very much. Good night.
Good night.
Listen, Joe, under the circumstances, don't tell Siobhan I was here, huh? I'm not trying to pick a fight. I'm trying to prevent one.
Okay. Do you still think Delia knows how to keep her mouth shut?
She didn't tell him that Fox had a note on Ryan's bar. She didn't tell him about the restaurant deal. She told him just what suited her.
You can't be sure of that. Maybe Johnny's heard the whole story.
No, if he'd heard it, he'd have been talking. He'd have yelled it out at the top of his lungs. That's Johnny Ryan's way. Relax. He's a minor problem, and I can take care of it very easily. Just put him out of your mind.
Roger.
Well, hi.
Hi, I'm sorry to bother you at this hour, but I need to talk to Dee.
Roger, Dee's not here. I haven't heard from her all day. Come in, though, won't you?
Thank you. It's a long trip out here.
Yeah, but I always like the going back and forth. It gives one time to think about things.
Certainly does.
Dee will be sorry that she's missed you.
You think so?
Oh, I know so. Joe's over at his uncle's. I just thought I'd stay home and be domestic today.
She didn't say when she'd be back, did she?
No. But you're perfectly welcome to wait. Can I get you a drink or coffee?
No, thank you. Actually, I'm not very fond of waiting. This is a lovely apartment.
Yeah. Joe feels at home at the sea, so we brought the sea home, if you follow me. But I guess it's changed a little since I moved in.
How so?
Noisier. My husband seems to think that it's homier, less of a bachelor pad. Why do I feel like I put my foot in it?
Oh, no, not at all. I was just making the obvious connection. For years, my little bachelor apartment was quite adequate. I liked being alone. Of course, there were a few invited guests.
Oh, more than a few, if I can believe half of what I've heard.
It's funny, I never thought I'd get married. From what I observed of the institution, it was a trap and a bore.
Did you change that?
Yes.
Now the apartment feels empty without her?
Yes, it does.
I guess that's why you came all the way out here today.
I wanted to talk to Dee. More importantly, I wanted to listen. I mean, I have been so damn mad over Dan Fox, and more specifically, that she lied to me about him, that I haven't had a chance to really hear what she's been trying to say to me.
Maybe you didn't want to, Roger.
I didn't want to hear that I might not be blameless in all this. She's probably told you about my affair.
Oh, no. Dee's been remarkably loyal.
Well, there was a reason for it. Adequate reasons, I thought. But I broke it off.
Forgive me, it's none of my business, but as I understand it, Dee had her reasons, too. Like extortion.
And no one to turn to, especially not me. But I still find it very hard to believe that she didn't encourage him, at least in the beginning.
Oh, Roger, from what I hear about Dan Fox, he hardly needs encouragement.
And I was not totally ungenerous. I mean, she could have sold her coat to fit. She could have pawned her diamond if she needed cash that badly.
Well, maybe she was afraid that you'd notice if she did something like that. Above all, I know that Delia has been scared to death.
I feel worse about that than anything else. We said we'd always trust each other.
Did you? Let me ask you one question. Aside from all these complications and things.
What?
Do you love her?
That is complicated.
Yes, but it's basic. It's why your apartment feels so empty. It's why you came all the way across Brooklyn. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth.
Yes, I love her.
A lot?
Yeah.
That's good. She's nuts about you. I don't mean crazy and neurotic. She really wants your love and wants your life together. Listen to me. Who am I? She ought to be here. Why isn't she here to hear this?
I don't think I'd have the stamina to say all that again.
Oh, I will. I mean, I'll tell her that you were here and everything.
Will you?
Oh, of course I will. And I have a hunch that you're going to hear from her soon, too.
I hope so.
You know, I have a feeling that if you two just clear the air, you can get back to basics.
Maybe you're right. Thanks, Sean.
You're welcome. Good night.
I like Dee a lot, but she is using the best pillow, you know.
Well, she's allergic to the other ones, but she did apologize profusely. Hey, do you really mind about her?
Well, it isn't exactly the honeymoon I had planned.
Oh. Well, we'll have our honeymoon someday.
Sure, we'll take the kids.
No, before that. So you don't mind about her?
No. What about you?
Well, no, not really. I mean, I do miss our privacy. But it makes me feel good to be doing something for somebody else now.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, you know. Mary and I felt so differently about Dee. Mary just didn't like her self-pity or her manipulating. And I saw all that, but I felt sorry for her. I know what it's like to be the underdog, even if you ask for it. So I guess I was always a little closer to Dee than anybody else in the family. Mary always thought I was being disloyal or dishonest. Do you think so?
You always think the worst of yourself. Maybe you just had a slightly larger heart than she has. At least where non-Ryans are concerned.
That makes me feel terrible.
How?
Well, I just got this sudden feeling of victory, like I'd scored a couple of points. Even though Mary's dead, I'm still competing with her.
Well, maybe that's one way of keeping her alive.
I love you. Thank you for knowing that. So much of my time, so much of myself was really involved with Mary. Getting mad, finding ways to get back at her. Competing.
Loving her?
Oh, yes. I wish I'd said more about that.
Now I just have this big empty feeling where all these things are going around, you know?
I think I understand that, but only in my mind. You know, an only child doesn't know really what it's like to deal with a brother or sister.
Were you aware of feeling lonely growing up?
I don't think I ever let it surface, but I'll tell you this. I love the difference, being connected to you and your family. I suppose that's why I wanted kids sooner than you do. Fill the place up. Whole bunch of kids keeping each other company.
A whole bunch, eh? Well, I don't think this place is big enough for that.
This is a warehouse, honey. There's space I haven't touched yet. We could turn it all into a giant playroom. Put a gym down there. Bunch of kids running around yelling and screaming and beating up on each other.
Yeah, screaming for their mother's attention. You know that I want kids.
Yeah. What we don't agree on is when.
Well, we'll work that out. I gotta tell you, though, when I think of being a mother, I get scared.
You'll be wonderful.
Oh, but there are lots of things that you can't help, things that show, that kids pick up on. Like, it wasn't Ma's fault that Mary was the one who could make her laugh. I wanted to do that, but they were always so tuned into each other. And that hurt me. Probably always will, you know?
But at the exact same moment, you still love Mary.
Yes. And I hurt for Mother, too, because I know that she's lost that thing that was very special to her. I'm already feeling inadequate that I can't close that gap.
Don't try to be Mary, Siobhan. It won't work.
Don't I know it?
Besides, it's you I love.
I miss her. I just wish that I'd gotten a chance to talk to her before the wedding. I think that she was still mad at me when...
What was that fight about? You never did tell me.
Jack. Well, she was really possessive of him. She just didn't understand.
Understand what?
Understand that Jack and I are very close friends. Jack was... Jack is very important to me, and Mary didn't want that.
Well, I'm not so sure. I like the idea of Jack being so important to you either.
Oh, please, come on, don't worry. You don't need to. Okay?
Okay.
Babe?
Hello, I'm in here.
Hi. Somebody is hiding. Where is she?
Oh, Ryan's gone for sleigh ride. And little John is to the zoo with his mother for the second time in 1 week, would you believe it? There's no one hiding around here except me. How did your experiment downtown go?
Lousy, I couldn't work.
Oh.
Didn't it look cold for her to be out, especially since she was just sick?
Well, she was standing at the window and she saw it start to snow and she started to cry. You know John. Her temperature was normal, though, dear. I bundled her up. And off they went. They'll be back in a minute. A little fresh air, that's going to do her the world of good.
Yeah, well, there's a strong wind out there, too.
Well, John, oh, be careful. So, let me take care of those.
All right, I can do it.
It didn't go well for you down there, eh?
Never got started. Got the week off at about 6:30 in the morning. Nobody on the subway. I got the apartment. Couldn't seem to go inside. How's your work? Looks like you've been doing great.
I don't know why I took these down to wash them. They really weren't dirty. I guess it was just my excuse to iron, that's all. Don't tell me you were standing around down there all this time outside the door.
No. Walked along the river.
Well, maybe that's what you needed to do.
Like you needed to iron?
Yes. By myself. Here in Mary's room.
Yeah. I felt she was with me for a while, too.
I know what you mean.
But then I couldn't hold on to it, so I decided to come and see Ryan, but John's got her.
Oh, Jack, she's safe and she'll be back in a minute. Good.
You know, Miss, she's going to be spoiled rotten if he melts every time she cries, so she wants to go out in the snow. Well, tough. You know, she can't have everything all the time. Both Mary and I want to be able to take no for an answer. Grandfather better
understand that.
Go see him again. You can show him your bubbles?
Yeah, I
You
will.
want to blow bubbles for him? Huh?
I will show him my bubbles. Where's Prince Albert?
He's where he was before, in the ape's house. Remember with the orangutan?
Yeah.
Hello, Prince Albert!
What's the matter with him?
I don't know. Maybe he's bored. Well, maybe he is. Maybe because he doesn't have anybody to play with. Hello? Prince Albert, how are you today? Not wonderful, huh? Now, what do you suppose he's thinking about?
Bananas?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I feel sorry for him because he looks so sad. Maybe he's coming down with something. You know, Dr. Cohen said that gorillas catch a lot of the same things that people do. Prince Albert, do you feel that? I think he's listening to me. Hey, come over here. Blow the bubble so he can see you better. Blow him into the cage. See if he'll, perk up. Albert, I don't know what that means. Do you like the bubbles? Here, let me try. I don't know. You like them? Whoa! That's right. Come get a closer look. Aren't they pretty?
Well, I haven't seen Albert have this much fun in weeks.
Oh, is this all right? It just occurred to me we might be breaking a rule or something.
Yes, you are, but there's no one around to report it. And if there were, they report it to me. I'm just glad to see Albert looking at having fun with something besides the walls.
You must be the ape man. I mean, Dr. Cohen's friend that found Prince Albert?
I'm Owen Douglas.
How do you do? I'm Delia Coleridge, and this is my son, John Reed Ryan.
Hi, John.
Hi.
You're friends of Adam Cohen's.
Yeah, and he works with a lot of people that I know at Riverside Hospital. And he told us last time we were here that you were on the expedition that brought Prince Albert to the United States. And you're in charge of all this?
Oh, not the entire zoo, just the primates.
Well, you're in charge of what we like best, especially Albert. Except when we first came in, he was sort of quiet. Is something wrong?
He misses Victoria.
Who's that?
Victoria was his mate and the mother of his 2 children.
What happened
We had to send her to Staten Island,
to him? Loose?
the Staten Island Zoo.
Why?
Well, she underwent a drastic personality change, and she didn't care for it much around here. She especially didn't care for Albert. So we thought a change of scenery might do her good.
Did it?
I'm happy to say that Victoria is doing very well in Staten Island.
They got divorced.
In a manner of speaking. Gorillas aren't monogamous, but Al was crazy about Victoria.
He feels rejected.
Well, that's my theory, anyway.
Poor Al. Okay, one more time. And then we have to go, too. He likes these bubbles. Hey, little John. Let's leave your bubbles with Mr. Douglas for Albert, and we'll get you some more on the way home. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, John. Albert doesn't get many presents.
He doesn't. Well, that's sad. We'll come back and we'll bring you surprises. If that's okay.
Of course. You just don't try to give them to him yourself. You don't see me around, ask a guard.
Okay.
I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you so much. Goodbye, Prince Albert.
Goodbye.
Don't be sad.
oh boy.
Here's my big girl. Oh, my goodness. You go for a walk with the dog, huh? I missed you. Oh, she's freezing.
She's warm as toast and ready for a nice long nap.
Yeah, ready to collapse. God help you if her fever comes back.
Will you please come off it, Jack? Hey, hand me her mittens, will you? Her mittens, I'll show you a trick.
Don't tell me to come off it. You keep my daughter out for 2 hours below freezing weather. And she's cold. And I don't mean her mittens, I mean her body. I don't worry about her mittens.
I may have said you'd be like this.
That's right, John. It's bad. Just let me put her down. I'll let you know how bad, huh? Here we go, honey. What do we got in here to play with? That. Do you have anything to eat?
Well, I'll tell you, Jack. She had a few crusts of bread, same as Finn. Oh, come on. She had a little bowl of chicken soup, half a sandwich of green birds. Where's your sense of humor? Where's your sense?
Is it possible you're already getting senile? You're really out for blood.
I beg your pardon.
The day I agreed to stay here, we had a discussion, an explicit discussion, as to who would be in charge of you-know-who.
Jack, what in the world do you want me to do? Get your permission every time I want to talk to my granddaughter, huh? Or do you want me to get up 5 a.m. before you leave here and get your okay on the, 100-odd things I deal with her with every day?
You know, Grandpa, if I want you had a good idea, we're going to work out a schedule the night before, starting tonight. Better yet, let's start right now, huh?
Jack, will you listen to me, please? She had a perfectly marvelous time on her sled. She was warm. She was happy. I haven't seen her laugh like that in days.
We'll break it up in 3-hour segments. 9 to 12, 12 to 3, 3 to 6. I'll go get some paper.
And what that man wants to do, he wants to make an automaton out of you. Well, he will over my dead body. Huh. Hey, Finn, come here.
Intervention. It's a matter of life or death. Bank of Mom and Dad. All new Wednesday at 10, only on SoapNet.
Jack, you are making a big fuss about nothing, as usual. Now, what do you say we go down? We get ourselves a cup of coffee, huh?
As usual, me.
Yeah, man, you're always finding fault every opportunity.
All I'm asking, Johnny, is that we set some ground rules. As long as Ryan and I...
Wait a minute, wait. You mean I have to have guidelines when I deal with my own granddaughter?
I'm saying I don't appreciate you taking her out in the cold.
We went sledding, Jack.
When she's just getting over an infection.
Listen, I know more in my little finger about the raising of children than you'll know in a lifetime. That dog knows more.
That's not the point.
Well, what's the point?
The point, Johnny, whether you like it or not, is you have to check with me before you make any decisions about Ryan. Such as taking her out to the park on a day like this, when it is so damn cold.
Oh, Jack, people live in the cold in some parts of the world. Did you know that? What makes you think cold is bad for you?
Because Ryan's pediatrician said, among other things, to keep her warm.
She was in her snowsuit.
She shouldn't have been out.
She's perfectly fine, Jack.
You're not paying attention, Johnny. I appreciate you and Maeve putting us up. I know it's better for Ryan. Whether you know it or not, I am making an effort.
Oh.
But there has got to be some ground rules.
I see. You're telling me that I have to call you whenever I have anything to do with your child. Hello there, Jack. It's the old Da. Can I give the baby a cookie?
Now, you see, that's... You smell smoke.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do.
Good God, there's a fire in Ryan's room!
paid to see you.
I should have phoned him.
Oh, he came to see you. You're coming to see him. Go on, knock on the door.
No answer. We gotta go.
Hey, have you still got your key?
Yeah?
Well, dig it out. We're not going to give up yet. You can go inside and wait for him. He'll probably be home any minute.
Come on, let's get out of here. Oh, my. Yes. Oh, how'd that happen? I swear I left the thing standing up. Lucky thing we caught it. Get some air in here. Boy. Clear some of the smoke out.
In the name of heaven, what is all this?
Sweetheart, there's nothing to worry about. I mean, don't get excited.
Brian wasn't hurt.
No, it's just a little bit of smoke, that's all.
Oh, smoke, and my iron and board cover, and the pad.
Look, there's nothing to worry about. I mean, there was no fire. Nobody's the worse for it.
Who in the blazes was ironing anyway?
I was trying to dry Ryan's mittens. I swear I left the thing standing up.
The baby's not frightened, is she?
She says she's fine. I left her in the bed.
I want to check on her in a minute.
Well, there's no serious damage done.
No, of course not, John. Of course, if we went downstairs for that cup of coffee you wanted, she could have died of smoke inhalation.
Jack, we never would have done that. We would have looked in on her.
Would we? Is that a John Ryan rule of parenting?
You're damn right.
Uh-huh. You know what I think? I think you're having such a good old time telling me how you know more about looking after kids in your little finger than I do, that you just go on talking all the way down the stairs, never give me a thought to Ryan.
That's not true. Look, Jack, I know you're upset about the baby. You have every reason to be.
Thank you very much.
I'm just trying to explain to you what happened, see?
Memory's gone, John, that's all. The old switches aren't connecting anymore.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just a polite way of saying you're an old fool. And I'll thank you to leave the raising of Ryan to me.
Man, I'm trying to apologize to you. What am I doing that for?
Yeah, well,
it's a waste of breath.
Will you lower your voices? Both of you. If the child wasn't frightened by the fire, she's bound to be upset with you two bellowing at each other.
Fine. Perfectly fine with me. Fine with me if I never exchange another syllable with the man.
Permission granted.
All right, now, the two of you. You hear me. We are dealing here with a very difficult situation at best. We've lost a daughter, you've lost a wife, and your child has lost her mother. And I am bound and determined that the three of us are going to get along as a family in this house. Now, what about the two of you?
Oh, Siobhan, you gotta get home. This is crazy.
No, Roger understands everything.
That's what I'm afraid of.
He understands that Dan Fox had you in a very unfortunate position.
Why you can say that again?
And he understands that he was not entirely without fault himself.
He'll never forgive me.
Oh, he has. He will.
Really? Do you think so?
He will. He told me so.
I sure hope you're right, because I'm just sort of crazy about him. Do you know that he's the only person in my whole life that knew what a terrible, rotten person I was and still loved me?
Well, the family always agreed you two belonged together.
We did. I mean, we do. Except, I guess I messed things up.
What's the good of taking all the blame on yourself? Besides, you know the fault is not all yours. You know it.
It is.
Well, what about Roger and this other woman?
That was terrible. That was horrible. He drove me into Dan's arms.
There, you see, it's not all your fault.
You knew how much I hate her. Who? The other woman.
Couldn't you just forgive the way Roger's willing to forgive about Dan Fox?
It's not me forgiving him. It's will he forgive me?
But he has, I'm telling you.
Well, he's been so mean lately.
It's because he was hurting.
He's gonna forgive me. Roger will forgive me. He'll forgive me.
That's it.
I don't know.
Well, maybe I'm putting my nose in where it doesn't belong. Maybe you don't want to see him after all.
I do.
Well, that's what he wants.
It'd be so wonderful to be back together again. And I promise I will be such a good wife.
Well, if that's what you want, and that's what he wants, where is the problem?
You know, I'm just scared. But I feel good inside. Happy, almost.
Well, great. On that note, I think I'm going to leave you.
Alone?
The last thing you and Roger need is a third person.
I do love him.
Well, then all you have to do is wait for him to come back. Let nature take its course.
Let nature take its course.
You'll know what to do. Meanwhile, I've got to go get dinner for Joe. These days, he's really big on a family, normal family life. So right now, that means a hot meal when he gets home.
Guess that's because he never really had a home.
No, not since he was a kid. From the time he was about 15, closest thing he had to a home was the kitchen at the Harborside restaurant.
No wonder he and Tizo are so close.
Yeah. Tizo may be his uncle, but he's really been a father to him. Hey, be good to Roger.
Listen, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Roger will forgive me, and everything will be okay.
Well, Ryan's asleep. Think I'll go tell his lordship.
John, please sit with me. It's been a difficult day.
You'd think the man had never made a mistake in his life.
John, don't take the tone with me, please. I'm not Jack Finelli.
I'm sorry.
I've been sitting here, trying to figure out what's at stake in all of this.
Oh, you mean, will the man and I ever be able to get along? Well,
No,
frankly,
John.
if you want...
It's much more than that. Do you have any idea of why Jack is being the dreadful nuisance that he is?
Oh, then you admit it.
I'm not blind, man. I have eyes in my head.
Nuisance isn't half of what I would
Yes,
call it.
but have you thought why he's behaving so badly?
Well, then, frankly, I've been too busy trying to deal with the man.
He's testing us, John. He's trying to find out whether this is his family or if we're going to throw him out the minute he misbehaves.
Don't think I'm but tempted to.
Oh? Well, if he leaves, Ryan leaves with him.
Why do you think I've been so patient with him?
Yes, well, patience is what's needed. We've got to make him realize that this is his home, even if Mary is gone, and that he is part of us.
Well, lady, I just hope the man comes to realize how welcome he is in our house before I throw him down the stairs.
No one like you, Ray? No one.
Occasionally, I'm very wonderful.
What about a drink?
No. No, I'll fall asleep then, and you don't want me to do that.
I don't want that. What I need is your gift for romance.
I like that. I have a gift for romance.
You are a very talented lady.
We're good together.
Coleridge and Woodard, specialists in love.
Absolutely.
Ready?
I'm ready when you are.
I want to make it absolutely perfect.
Well, I'll do my best.
That's just what I need.
All right?
Now, my one and only darling pigeon.
Oh, that's beautiful.
How can I make you understand how very much I love you?
That's wonderful.
For me, ours has always been the mating of two souls destined for one another. You like it?
Oh, yes, I love it.
So do I.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. a terrible person, Roger.
What are you doing here?
I came to see you. I wanted to tell you I was sorry. I thought maybe I could get you to forgive me. I guess I'm as stupid as everybody always said I was. I thought you loved me. I missed you so much. I was hoping maybe you missed me, too.
Honey, I have.
Liar! You've been waiting for an excuse to throw me out so you could be with her. All that talk about honesty and trust. All that time you were fooling around with her.
No, that's not true.
Why didn't you just tell me you didn't love me anymore? Why'd you have to lie to me, making me feel all guilty and horrible because I lied to you? You're worse than I am, Roger. At least I admitted it. But no, Roger Coleridge is so noble, you couldn't be wrong, too. You had to tell me you stopped seeing her. You had to tell me it was over so I would be the rotten one.
It is over.
How can you say that? Do you think I'm that stupid? I can see, I can hear.
Perhaps I better go now, Roger, huh?
That's all right. Don't. I don't want to ruin your evening. I know how much fun this is for you, stealing other people's husbands. Frank wasn't enough. He and Jill were just living together, but this was more of a challenge, although I'm sure Roger made it easy for you.
Jill, you don't understand.
Oh, yes, I do. Believe it or not, even I can figure it out.
Delia.
You must think I'm a complete idiot.
Delia,
You're going to try to deny it because don't bother. It doesn't matter. Ray, if you want him, you can have him.
Delia, will you just shut up and listen for 1 minute?
Well, I'll tell you, sure, Frank's anxious to clear himself, and it's going to happen. But in the meantime, he's got his law practice, see? And that's doing great. I mean, he's doing better than great. That's how I brought my kids up, to bounce back. Not that I didn't make a few mistakes here and there along the way. I mean, who hasn't, you know what I mean? But, my kids couldn't have turned out better if I tried. And I tried, if you know what I mean. Let me get you another.
That situation must not be much fun to live with.
Oh, it was fun until this afternoon when we had a near accident with Brian.
Jack's got to know that Daddy would never do anything
Does
like
know, but the two of them, they won't set aside their pain or their anger long enough to hear the other one out. Jack is so determined to think that we don't love him and don't want him here, that he keeps testing and pushing to prove it. And your father's no help in the matter. I mean, it's plain as nose on the face what Jack is doing, but he plays right into it.
In other words, it's a mess.
Well, you might put it that way, yes.
I wish there was something I could do.
Oh, I've been waiting for you to say that. Do you mean it?
Sure.
I'd like you to talk to Jack. Let him know what he's doing and John is doing. I mean, Lord knows he's taking you aside and giving you a little perspective at times. It's time for you to return the favor, dear.
Do you think that he wants to hear it?
I don't know whether he wants to, but he should.
Okay, I'll try.
For 5 minutes and listen, you'll see that I can explain everything, all right? All right, then. Now.
You forgot what you were going to say.
No. Oh, honey, no.
You think I'm going to stand here and let you laugh at me?
We weren't.
Well, when you think of what you were going to say, tell her, because I don't want to hear it.
Honey, please. I'm sorry. Now, this is a little difficult. Ray and I were at Lem's, and I suppose we had a few too many.
I don't want to hear about your date either.
Honey, please, I'm trying to explain. Just give me a chance. Now, I have missed you, and I've felt miserable ever since you left.
I didn't leave. You threw me out.
Yes, and that was a big mistake. And ever since I've been trying to figure out a way to rectitude it. I wanted to.
You rectify it.
Thank you. I've been trying to figure out a way to fix things. That's why Ray is here. We've been talking about you all evening.
Making fun of me?
No, she was helping me.
I'll bet.
Look, she was helping me work out a way to do it. To get you back, I mean.
That's why she's here, so you can work it out. Now, you're going to work it out all night.
Oh, Delia.
You're a liar!
No, then. Look, Delia, I know that I am the last person that you want to listen to, and if I were in your place, I would feel exactly the same way. But Roger loves you. He told me so himself, and he wants this marriage to work.
Thank you.
You were amazing. I heard you before. You said you loved her. You've even called her your little pigeon.
No, I never.
Stop lying to me. It doesn't matter anymore. You can call her whatever you want. I just want to get out of here.
Honey, no. I know what you think you heard, but I wasn't talking to Ray.
Oh, you mean there were others? Where'd they go?
I was talking to you.
To me?
Yes.
You didn't know I was here?
But it was a letter. Ray was working with me all evening on a letter to explain to you how I felt and how much I loved you. See?
Oh, I see, all right. Boy, Roger, you really are sick. You and your mistress writing love letters to your wife. I think you're the one that needs Dr. Pagano. Why did you do this to me?
Because I wanted you back.
But you have her, isn't she enough? You wanted to stay married to me, too? I guess it's more fun that way. That way I can stay here and cook and clean for you and understand while you're off with her. Well, I won't do it. I may be lonely, and I may be stupid, but I'm not that bad. I'm better than that. Oh, I wish I never came here tonight. I wish I never met you or trusted you or loved you.
Oh, no, Dee.
I never want to see you again. Last week, you wished me out of your life. Well, I'm out of it, and I'm glad because I never want to see you again as long as I live.
Pray for me, okay?
Go on.
Hope it does some good.
Oh, it should. If anyone can, she can. There's such an honest connection between those two.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, buddy. I got some things I have to lay on you that maybe you don't want to hear. You have told me what happened before. Is Ryan okay?
Yep.
I'm sorry. Must have been pretty awful.
What it was is stupid.
You see, sweetheart, Jack here has never made a mistake in his life, so he's having a little trouble understanding how
Johnny,
I
I don't have any trouble understanding that you made a mistake. I might be a little surprised to hear you admit it.
Oh, look,
but it's fine.
Jack, look, please. Don't get hostile. All I'm trying to do in an honest, mature way is to explain how I'm feeling about what you're saying. Now, I'm trying to keep the lines of communication open. That's what we do in our family instead of going inside ourselves, sulking around.
Daddy, that's swell. Would you mind just letting me have a minute
Well,
alone?
why can't I say...
John, Mr. Malloy needs refilling.
Oh, lady, don't do that to me. I'm just trying to make a point here. I can see Malloy's glass. That's the worst excuse I ever heard in my life.
Let me think of a better one, then.
Why don't we go over here?
You do want to know.
Your mother asked you to talk to me, didn't she?
Oh, I wanted to anyway.
Mm-hmm. They're all in on it, huh? Your mother, Frank, Jill. When's Kevin get back from Ireland? It'd be a shame for him to miss out on all the fun.
Oh, knock it off. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. Okay, here goes. Basically, what I want to say to you is there's no way that you can be rotten enough to get this family to give up on you. You can try to push us away, but it's just not going to happen.
Here we go again. Did you come up with that theory all by yourself, or did you all get together and work it out, huh? Jack is confused. We had better explain him to himself. You know, I never knew that there were 3 basic schools of psychology. Freud, Jung, and Ryan.
Look, I know that you're really upset about what happened today. Daddy has probably been impossible.
It will ever occur to you maybe he's the one you should be talking
You know, Mother's taking care of him as well as anybody can.
Nobody has to take care of me.
Jack, just wait a minute now. You're a member of our family. I know that this sounds really weird coming from me because I've never exactly been a hard-line Brian, but it's true. And you can fight that as hard as you want. Yeah? That's what you're doing here. But it's not going to work because none of us is going to leave you alone. Daddy will probably continue to be obnoxious whenever he feels like it. And then he'll apologize once he realizes what he's done. He'll feel ashamed. But it's going to start all over again. That's just how it is. But Mother's never going to stop trying to understand you. Frank will be there if you need him, as a brother or a friend, a lawyer, whatever. And there's me. I know that I've been avoiding you since the other day, because you told me some things that I didn't want to hear about myself, like I'm doing for you, right now, huh? But everything that you said was true, as usual. I was blaming myself for Mary's death. I was feeling self-indulgent and stupid. I don't know.
You stopped?
No. But it'll just take a little while, but it's better. I'm getting there. Thanks.
Sure.
I need you to show me what I was doing wrong. You're probably the only person I could have listened to or heard. I count on you a lot, Jack, more than I've ever counted on anybody. Except maybe Joe, you know, but that's in a different way. And I don't want to stop counting on that, whether you like it or not. I'm not going to stop doing that. So, you can be mean or nasty or, you know, withdrawn, cold, remote.
I think that about covers it.
Generally unwonderful. I had to get that in there. You can be whatever you want to be. All I'm trying to say is just, you know, relax a little bit. You don't have to test us. We're right here. We're not going anyplace. We love you.
Thank you.
Guess I should shut up now, huh?
Yeah, I think maybe you better.
Okay. Always the truth, huh?
Well, you asked me.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, your wife is gifted with straight talk.
Yeah?
I would say that you should be proud of yourself and consider yourself lucky.
I do.
Thanks very much for dropping by. Come back and see us.
The old man, like he's surveying his kingdom.
That's exactly what he's doing. We're all part of it.
Some parts more welcome than others.
Some thoroughly detested, which is mutual.
Do I detect a note of warmth?
She's funny. You know her? What warmth.
I believe that you're ambivalent about him. I don't think that you hate him.
How do you feel about him?
Seriously.
Yeah. He's a pain, but I kind of like him.
Well, he almost started a fire in my kid's room today. Had to iron her mittens because he knows everything about child rearing before the invention of the dryer. Yeah, I agree, Joe. He's a pain. As to liking him, yeah. I suppose I do sometimes. He loved Mary. Partly responsible for the person she was. He loves Ryan the same way. Occasionally, I believe that'll do him more good than harm.
He cares about you, too.
Now, that's a little more difficult to buy.
My head.
Oh, come on, you two. He'd defend you to the death. You know that. The other night, you spent about an hour talking about parents and kids and mother and daddy and the value of the big family unity.
You're right, I did.
Thing about children?
I'd like about a dozen.
Oh, fun. He's like a harem, too. He's going to need one if he wants a dozen children.
I'll settle for 4. Boy, girl, over a period of 10 years.
You know, that's the way you used to talk about building up your fishing fleet. Better watch it, Siobhan. He made that happen.
And as my father-in-law would say, let me tell you something. The way my life's been going lately, I feel I can make anything happen. Or we can. Now, a year ago, I figured I'd get a good piece of the pie, you know. My boat's on the ocean, my duplex at home, enough money, enough fun. And all of a sudden, there's the whole pie out there for me. A beautiful wife, a bunch of kids like Ryan, baseball games, piano lessons, summer vacations, station wagons. I want a big station wagon or a van. Lots of windows. We'll travel all around, the family's safe inside, and we'll see the whole world, all of it. Every inch.
Whole pie. I hope you get it.
Hello. Johnny, thank you. This is so wonderful.
No, we wanted it this way, Dee.
Hey, you have no idea how much I needed you. Exactly at the moment you called. I'd like to tell you about it. It was really awful.
Oh, good heavens. Let's go inside. Where are your bags, dear?
Oh, George will bring them in as soon as those settled.
Oh, hello there.
You, Johnny? Hey, good to see you, Jack. You sure?
Hey, this is great. Why don't you stay? We'll have a party. Ma stashed away the fruitcake, but I know where it is.
I think I better get back to my place.
The harvest I can do without you for a while. Come on, sit down.
Yeah. Don will make you a special Irish coffee, won't you, Don?
Well, sure, if that's what you want.
All right, that sounds good. The table in the corner?
Sure, sure. I'll get the coffee. You go ahead.
How about you, Joe?
Terrific.
Dive into Melrose Place, weekdays at 6, only on SoapNet.
See that man went out that way. You see him? You see him go?
I'm all right. Jack, he's been shot. How about somebody help him?
The guy hit him.
I'm so bloody. What do we do?
There's a guy laying in the
John,
street. Look. Okay, I get him for getting on. Don't need somebody here.
Johnny, get him.
I am. Just shut up a minute.
Tazo, you all right?
Give me a police emergency.
Nothing, not a scratch. Ronnie looks pretty bad.
Look, I'm calling from Ryan
Don't move,
Park.
just lie there.
Yeah, right across the street from Riverside Hospital. We're in trouble here. There's been a shooting.
Tell them to the ambulance.
All right.
Tell them we need protection.
All right, did you just shut up? Yes. Look, I want you right away. There's been some...
In your arm, your chest, what?
My shoulder.
Oh, no, don't move.
Siobhan's right, Jack. You better lie still till we get a doctor. You move, it can make it worse.
That's okay, Dee. I just want to sit up.
There's no sign of him.
God, man, looks like he's hurt bad. Oh, my God. I think he's dead.
Easy, George. It's all right, everybody. The trouble's over. George, come here. I need you.
Gee, I told you I could sit up.
Yeah.
All right, the police will be here any minute.
How bad is it?
I've never been shot before. I don't have anything to compare it to. Other than a bullet in my shoulder, I'm fine.
You're incredible.
The way you stepped in front of Siobhan, I owe you.
It's just instinct.
Medical help will be here with the police, dear.
Maeve, I don't want police medics. There's an emergency room right across the street.
Oh, Jack, maybe you better wait here, huh?
The sooner they look him over and take care of that bleeding, the better.
The voice of experience.
John, please.
Tisa's right. I should walk over.
Can you?
A little help.
Easy.
I'm gonna get the coat. How does that feel now?
I'm a little wobbly, but I'm all right.
You better start walking while you're still up to it.
Jack, stay a couple of minutes, Jack. The cops will be here in a minute.
Johnny, the danger is all past.
How the hell can you be so sure of that?
There's blood on my shoe.
Delia, get away from that poor man.
You and your promises that no trouble would come to my family because of you.
John, God's sake, not now.
No, I'm still trembling. I'm holding on to this cup because I'm afraid if I let go, my hands will start shaking and I'll fall out to pieces.
Please, we'd appreciate it if you don't fall to pieces. John, don't.
Look at the holes, the bullets ripped in this wall, will you? They must have been firing 38s.
I was so scared when those guns started firing.
I can't believe it really happened.
That's a nightmare.
Tiso Novotny is my relative.
No, sir. I never saw either one of them before.
Didn't recognize them. Didn't even get a good look at them. Wouldn't be able to identify them, huh? And you have no idea why they came in here and tried to kill you, hmm?
Must have been a mistake.
Those were professionals, Mr. Novotny. They don't make that kind of a mistake.
I don't know anything about that.
Look, I'm trying to protect you.
I don't need protection.
And the people around you.
I will take care of my own people.
The word on the street is that some of your soldiers have broken away and trying to take over the narcotics distribution for South Brooklyn.
I don't know anything about narcotics. I'm in the restaurant business.
If you tell us their names, we could save you a lot of trouble.
I am not afraid of trouble.
Mr. Novotny, we know narcotics are coming into Brooklyn. There's a factory somewhere in South Brooklyn where the stuff's being cut, and there's a distribution organization.
I don't know anything about any of this.
What about that story that the restaurant you run is a cover, hmm? What do you expect me to think about that?
I never expect a policeman to think.
You ought to listen to me. I just might save your life. Want to tell me what that's all about?
I asked George to call a few of my friends and tell them what happened.
What friends? Okay. I give up. But let me tell you something. If you go to the mattresses, if you start a gang war, you're going to hear from us. Got that?
talking about? Gang war.
About the last thing I expected tonight was to find myself in the middle of a gang war.
I don't think that's what it is, Jack.
What else would you call it?
Some enemies of my uncle's trying to settle an old score, but that doesn't make it a gang war.
Does it hurt?
Let's just say it smarts.
Thank you. You're a very lucky man, Mr. Finelli.
Yeah? What would this feel like if I was unlucky?
Well, 6 inches to the right, and there wouldn't be anything left of you to feel.
Yeah, well, I guess you put it that way. I'm lucky.
I'll prescribe a pain reliever for you. I think you might reconsider and spend the night here. You might be a little more comfortable.
I got a little girl I got to take care of and other things.
Well, come back tomorrow and have that shoulder looked at. And then you can make arrangements for further checks with the doctor.
Thank you.
Nurse, see that this patient has a hospital gown to go home in.
Thanks.
The way you stepped in front of Siobhan, we're the ones that should be saying thanks.
You saved my life.
Joe would have done the same thing.
Yeah, but I was way on the other side of the room. It's a debt, Jack, and one I'll honor the rest of my life.
Okay. Nothing must ever happen to Siobhan.
Nothing's going to. Believe me.
John, what a horrible business tonight is.
What kind of a family has she gone and mixed herself up with?
Not mixed up with them, John. She married into it.
Well, it's the same thing.
No, it's far from the same thing. Please, would you let me say what I'm trying to say?
I'm sorry, lady.
John, I'm terrified at the thought of our daughter being out in Sheepshead Bay with Joe and Tiso Navasi.
Well, then you agree with me.
Well, of course. I'd have to be blind not to agree.
Well, she can always stay. There's a room upstairs, our old room.
John, please listen to me. If you say anything, or I say anything, there's only one thing that Siobhan is going to do.
Well, we have to say something to keep her from going.
When she was 4 years old, you told her not to roll in the puddle. What did she do then?
She rolled in the puddle.
Well, she's not 4 anymore. She's a grown woman. She's got a good head on her shoulders. She's got to have seen what happened here tonight. She's going to draw her own conclusions if you let her.
All right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. If I see any sign at all that she's thinking for herself, weighing her situation, making up her own mind, I am not going to say a word. But if I see the child going blindly, tagging along to Brooklyn with her husband, Joe, I'm going to say something. I have to.
Please don't. Let the girl come to her own decision without your help.
Blood stain's still there. You can see it.
I got some stuff down in the basement. Will take care of it.
I see it. Gives me goosebumps. Only, Johnny, maybe you shouldn't do anything.
What in the world is the matter with you, child? What, are we going to let the customers come in and see it?
Well, maybe they'd like it. You know, they'd tell all their friends about this big, horrible blood stain in the middle of Brian's floor, and it could be good for business.
Oh, dear, we don't have to go that far, quite. Have customers in here.
Glad they left the cop here just in case.
In case? In case of what?
Come on, Jack, the danger's over. Don't go scaring people.
Hello there. Well, how was it?
Well, they gave me a local anesthetic, cleaned out the wound. Said I was very lucky.
No, lucky would have been if the bullet had missed you.
Said it hurt like the dickens.
Judy, I'm hearing little John call.
I didn't hear anything.
Well, would you go on upstairs, be an angel, and stay with the children till one of us comes up?
But there's...
Please, I'd feel a lot better than being upstairs if you were with them.
Jack, what else did the doctor say?
Take care of it. Come back to have it looked at. Take one of these every 4 hours.
Oh, Tiso took the car, and that man George went with him, and he said that you two should take a cab.
Okay, thanks.
Probably wanted to beat it out of here before the reporters get here. Should be here any minute.
Well, in that case, I guess we'll be on
No,
our
wait,
way.
just a second, Joe. I hadn't thought the thing through clearly, but you think it's a great idea taking Siobhan out to Brooklyn now?
Yes, I do.
Well, look, how do you know what you'll be walking into? Maybe another barrage of bullets, man. Well, sweetheart, I'm not going to argue about it after Siobhan's in Brooklyn, and whatever's happened there has happened.
I don't want to argue about it at all.
Daddy, I don't think that Joe would take me back there if it weren't safe.
I'm not doing he'd do it intentionally. I'm just saying that. How do you know that the people who were waiting for you here tonight won't be out there waiting for you when you get there?
The men that did the shooting tonight were after my uncle. They weren't after me, and they certainly weren't after Siobhan.
Well, where's your uncle now? He's in Sheepshead Bay, right? And where you taking Siobhan now to Sheepshead Bay, right?
Siobhan won't be in any danger.
How can you be so sure of that, man?
I'll see to it.
How? How can you see to it?
I love Siobhan, and I won't let anything happen to her.
Joe wouldn't expose Siobhan to any danger.
Look, how can you guarantee that you can avoid another repeat of the incident that happened here tonight? Look, sweetheart, why can't you spend the night here at least till tomorrow morning?
That isn't necessary.
Daddy.
Oh, come on, Siobhan.
I'm going to go with Joe.
She'll be safe with me. You'll just have to accept that.
All right.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, sweetheart.
Well, you said what you had to say.
Said what I had to say. I knew she'd go
Whatever
with
it
him.
accomplished.
I knew she'd go with him. The man's her husband. At least maybe I got through to her how upset and worried we are. Maybe she'll be that much more careful because of it.
You did the right thing, Johnny.
Oh, you mean we agree about something, huh?
You do about this. I think it's important Siobhan realizes that she could be in a lot of danger.
Dreams?
It's awful.
Oh.
Just blood and screams and... Oh. Joe, what's this about?
I wish I had an answer.
Does Tizo?
Old enemies. He's been straight about his past. That's why he has bodyguards.
Yeah, one of whom is dead. At Ryan's. I don't believe this. It's impossible. All of Daddy's worst fears are coming true.
Now listen to me. I'm sorry that any of this has happened. I promised you you'd never get involved, that you'd never be in any danger, but last night was just something that we couldn't predict.
We?
Tizo promised me, and I promised you. I'd keep you safe. Tizo doesn't want me involved in any of his old battles. All he really has ever wanted for me was a normal, happy life, and you're giving that to me. And we'll give it to our kids.
Oh, Joey, I can't even think about that stuff. I mean, all I see is flashing and bullets popping and Jack getting hurt trying to protect me. Look on Ma's face, and she saw that man was dead. Blood on my dress.
Oh, come on, now, stop it. Stop.
It's awful.
Now, listen. It's all over now.
Oh.
You don't need Jack to protect you, because I will. We're safe here. I'll just keep on holding you.
Oh. I love you.
I love you so much.
Oh.
Nothing like this is ever, ever going to happen again. I'm just grateful it wasn't worse, that we're okay.
We're alive. We might not have been.
Yes. Nothing will ever happen to us. I promise. So safe. So in love.
Wait a minute. Wait. We can't take a chance now.
I don't want to wait. You don't either, do you?
Just awful down there. Everybody just wanting to look at the bullet holes. And the bloodstain won't come off the floor no matter what Johnny does. Gonna have to have him sanded down and revarnished.
Maybe you should charge admission. Scene of the crime, throwing a free beer.
That's not funny.
I know.
It's the worst experience that ever happened to me in my life. The men busting in and the shots, and everybody screaming. The blood.
Gee, I'm sorry, Dee, but when I'm shot, I bleed.
Well, you wouldn't have it.